Welcome back to another edition of the Course Creation Incubator Podcast. I'm your host, Gina Anativia, and I'm stoked because we're on part 2 of our 3-part workshop series about how to create a course that converts. Last week, we talked about who are you? Who are you selling? What do you represent? And what's your unique solution? And I'd love to know, did you do your homework? Did you write down your mission and who you are? Your unique solution, what you bring to the table. If you haven't done it, go back. Listen. I mean, you could still listen to this episode. I think it's great. But I want to make sure you're taking advantage of these workshops because it's really the foundation of what it takes to be an online course creator today, a successful one. And it could be easy. It could feel a little easier, right, to skip ahead. But if you take a little time now to do the work, I promise you it's going to pay off. It's like anything you want to do well. Sometimes we want to skip ahead to get to the end result, like we flip to the last chapter of the book, right, where they put all the action items. But you want to put in the work to build a solid foundation for growth. It's what we really want, to sell a course, not only to just sell courses, by the way, but to build up a sustainable business. Today, we're going to talk about how to build an audience waiting to buy from you. Now, I talked a little bit about audience last week and who you want to serve. Today, I specifically want to talk about how do you build an audience of buyers versus tire kickers? How do you build an audience waiting to put down their credit cards? And a lot of times I talk to course creators who want to focus on building a list. Like, I think at this point in our online marketing lives, we know we need to build a list. We know how important it is to own that list versus your social media followers. I am preaching to the converted on that. Now, I think we want to take it one step further though. Rather than just be list building, I want to make sure you are list building with intention, that you're getting actual buyers and not just freebie getters. So how do you do that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, this is really the difference between course creators that have these huge lists of people who actually might not buy versus a quality list of people who get their offers and buy their offers. So I know for me, by the way, I didn't do this enough. I didn't do quality list building when I was starting out as an entrepreneur. I did a ton of word of mouth and referral-based marketing, and I didn't place enough value on building my list, especially a list of buyers. Now, those of you who have one-to-one services, when you're just starting out or you have a thriving one-to-one business, word of mouth and referral-based marketing is great. But when you're switching from one to many, which I eventually did with the 6-week accelerator, you want a wider audience, and list building is a fast track to just that. This is how you build your business. This is how you put out opportunities. So if I had to do it all again, I would really double down on quality list building. I would make the time to do it. All right, I've ranted enough. Let's dive into this week's workshop. So step 1 to building an audience wanting to buy from you is consistent nurturing. And this is putting out content on a consistent basis. Now, side note here, I originally was going to record this podcast and say, do whatever you can as long as you're consistent. Put it out once a month, twice a month. And Becky, my online business manager, who is very smart and very strategic, says, Gina, I'm going to push back on you. It's one of the reasons I love Becky. She said, it needs to be weekly. She's saying the consistency needs to be week to week in terms of your content because people are busy. And if you aren't showing up for them at least weekly, most people will forget who you are and how they even got on your list. It doesn't have to be novel or out of the box each and every week. And you can find a format that works, but you want to stay consistent every single week. So thank you, Becky. By the way, we put out this podcast every week. We love it. We email our community every week. If you're listening right now, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you're part of our list. You can subscribe for my game plan. I'll link to it in the show notes to make sure you're a part of the community and you get those weekly emails. But we've been testing that format. We've been doing shorter emails because we know you're busy. We still want to get the message out each and every week, to Becky's point, because I do want to be top of mind, and I want you to listen because I want to help. I want you to get across the finish line, and I want you to build your course and build up your business. So for you, a podcast might not make sense, by the way. I get a lot of people who are just starting out and building their platforms and saying, I'm going to start a podcast. Like, holy, wow. Like, a podcast is an endeavor. Maybe it's a newsletter to start, right? Or a blog. Think about what you already have that you can repurpose. Like, maybe you've written articles before, or you have existing content that you could just repurpose. Think about thought leadership that you enjoy and what your audience would really get a lot of. What are they asking for? So it could be a podcast, or it could be a blog or a video, right? But something that you can commit to. So if you can commit to blog on a consistent basis, start there. Or if you can hire a writer off of Upwork and have them write batches at a time, like 4 or 5 blogs, and then you're publishing that, that is a great place to start. Or you could even send out emails that serve as blogs. Like, maybe it's a longer form email that's a blog in itself. Whatever it looks like, as long as you're consistent. By the way, part of putting out that consistent content is also mentioning what you have, right? And that's how you get buyers. You're seeding your paid content and your paid offers, okay? This is very important, because otherwise you're just putting out free content and you're attracting free people over and over. And if you feel slimy or salesy, I want you to really check that belief. You're in business because you want to make money, and you have to sell to make money. And this is why you're going to seed your offers. So I had a client who was putting out a robust newsletter once a month. About a year ago, he started doing this. He'd have like 12 pieces to that newsletter. And the great thing is he would release the newsletter maybe at the beginning of the month, and then he would break up that content and have content for the entire month after that, because he would take apart and he'd truncate that newsletter. So that really worked for him. But one thing he did is he kept saying, offers are coming, invites are coming. So get ready. You're going to hear more about this community. You're going to hear more about these events. And I thought he did a really great job seeding the paid offers that were going to be available to this unique community. So don't think it has to be overly salesy, but you want your offers out there because you're going to serve your audience beyond your free content. Yes, your free content is helpful, but your audience is likely looking for more. Letting them know what you have to help them is being of service. You're giving them the opportunity to receive the additional support they need. So in this podcast, you guys know I'm going to talk about my online course Jumpstart, which is my foundational program. For less than a few cups of coffee, you can get my blueprint, the questions to ask to start a best-selling course. Or if you want to go even deeper, you could take my 6-week accelerator and get your starter course done in 6 weeks, know how to build it and sell it and build up your business for the long term. I want to provide massive value week to week, but I also want you to know that there's a way to go deeper with me. So if you want to just do the foundational, great, listen to this podcast. But if you really want to drill down and work with me or get access to me, then you join me for my programs. It doesn't feel slimy to me at all, because I know that's the way I can really make a difference. I can really transform a course creator. It feels like the next part of our relationship. It's a natural evolution. Like, after you start dating, you eventually want to move in together. Well, some of you don't want to get married, but maybe you move in together, or there's some kind of long-term commitment. So think about ways you can put out consistent content. And if you're doing that already, congratulations. I'm always thrilled when I find new course creators that are putting out consistent weekly content. Make sure you're measuring, by the way. For those of you already putting out that consistent content, is it working for you? Are your folks clicking on your emails? Like, are they engaging with what you have to say? So whether it's a video or it's a blog or it's a long form email, whatever it looks like. One more point on this, 80-20 rule, okay? 20% content development, 80% should be promotion. We typically flip it around. We spend 80% of our time developing our content. I could spend 80% of my time outlining this podcast and the recording and just falling in love with the content development process, right? And I have a content development process, and I talk about it in other episodes. For this series, for example, I walk along the lake when Tristan's at tennis, and I download and I think through my thoughts, and then I get it transcribed to create my script, and then I give it an edit. Becky looks at it for me. So it's an entire process, and I could spend 80% of my time with that. But I know to get the most out of this podcast, my consistent weekly content, I got to promote a lot. So think about that, like breaking this up. So we were just talking to my Google Ads gal, and she's like, hey, can you record more videos? So if you're listening right now, I'm recording these via video as well too, if you like YouTube. She's like, can we break that up? Can you record additional videos? Can we use 2-minute clips? So she's thinking all the ways that she can get mileage out of this podcast. And I love that, right? So get it transcribed, do longer show notes, right? Make blogs out of it, make long form posts. So you got to think about how you're going to repurpose and think about that 80-20 rule. All right. The second way to build an audience that wants to actually buy from you is to solve for their pain points in terms of the content and the emails and everything you're putting out. This is an important one. This is you needing to be top of mind for your core person, your audience. What are the true pain points that they're experiencing right now? So if I'm a workplace expert, for example, I'm talking to people about how to make the best in the transition back to the office, or making the case not to go back to the office, right? That's a major pain point right now. If I'm a workplace expert and maybe I advise HR or leaders and executive team, what are the solutions that I'm bringing to the table for that pain point? Maybe it's about how to have a conversation about that or how to communicate to your team. It's a new checklist I'm writing via my content, or I'm offering it. Maybe I'm doing a podcast episode and I'm offering it as a freebie, or email comps like Swipe. What content is going to address the pain point that is truly hurting your audience that you thought about in the first part of this workshop? Every day I think about this in terms of what are the pain points that my course creators are going through. So this is great that I get real-time feedback from my accelerator students. So somebody pings me and they have a scripting question, or they get stuck on their offer. And I say, oh, okay, I see what they're struggling with, or I see the trends that are happening with price points, and then I want to address that. I want to solve for their pain point. So think in terms of your pain points of your people and how you're solving for them. And I'll link to some episodes I've done in the past about this, because this is what gets them to buy. When you solve that piece of a pain point, they're going to think, wow, I got this for free. What can I get if I double down and I pay? And look, you're not going to completely cure them, right? You're going to make them feel better. You're going to make them feel like there's a solution at the end of the tunnel. And then hopefully you're going to leave them wanting more and putting their credit card down, right? And going to the next level. Oh, and by the way, before I leave this step, this is a good time to mention paid versus free. And I have a podcast on that, but I'd like to just highlight again, don't be afraid to bring it on in terms of the free content, because your paid content is going to be the step-by-step. It's going to be the how. It's going to be that complete system. Right? It's going to be the information they need. It's not going to be just little bits and pieces. That's really tough to get a holistic or comprehensive solution. So don't be afraid to give away more for free. All right, we're finally to step 3 of our workshop. So for step 2, write down 5 pain points that your people are going through. If you haven't done this exercise in a while, it's incredible. Right? To think about what are the top 5 pain points that your people need solutions for right now. Has it changed from a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago? Right? If you're doing one-to-one coaching or consulting, how is that different? How are those pain point different for the people that you're serving on your online course? Because that's an interesting distinction as well. Step 3, let them know what's coming. Okay? This is why we have wait lists. This is why we tell people offers are coming. So we did this in step 1, where we created that consistent nurturing. And we also told them offers are coming, right? Invites are coming. You're not going to say offers, right? That's our marketing lingo. But you're going to say, like, I'm opening up a community, or I've got a special program that I'm developing. I can't wait to tell you about it. You got to let people know. You got to have a wait list. And I think sometimes people don't do this. When I talk to course creators, they'll have certain things set up, like they've got their platform set up, right? They have a course, like maybe like a half built out course. And I was like, great, who have you told about this? And it's crickets, right? They've told no one. Why have they told no one? Because it's scary. I get it. The minute you say this is coming, it becomes real, right? We need it to become real because that's how we get it done. That's how we finish. That's how we commit. So I do want you to share that your course, your workshop, your group coaching program, whatever it is coming soon. And I want you to sign up in this wait list, right? And this is why we have wait lists, so people can express their intention to buy from you. I mean, look at movie trailers. They put out the movie trailer, like a month ahead of time, right? But then meanwhile, I'll see some buzz articles months out in Entertainment Weekly. And then a couple of weeks to go, there's different kinds of movie trailers, right? Appealing to different kind of demographics. But you're seeing it all over the place and you know it's coming. They want to get the word out. They want to build up that anticipation for when it gets released. And it's like, wow, it's an event. You want the same thing for your course or your workshop or your program. You want to build up anticipation, excitement for your event. Because trust me, the release of your course, it is a special event, okay? Your baby is here. People should know about it and they should get excited. So get your wait list up. Let people know on social, right? Let potential partners know so they can share on your behalf so they can get excited for you. Then you'll find yourself committing even more to your own success. Now, this is so important to setting yourself up for buyers. If you haven't already announced that your course is coming or planted that seed, how are you going to do this as the third step of your workshop? How are you going to let people know? Are you going to go live? You're going to do a little video? You're going to walk along the lake like me and say, okay, it's ready. It's coming soon. It's a couple months out. And if it's a couple months out, that's okay. Right? Broadway announces months out. Don't be afraid. Put yourself out there. All right. So again, we're going to do that weekly content. And if you haven't figured it out, you're going to workshop that, what it looks like. How can you be more consistent? All right. So if you've been inconsistent, like you've done a blog every so often, what is it going to take for you to be consistent? For me, I knew I had to build up a team. I have to have a writer in place and I have to have Madi doing the back end or this podcast isn't going to happen. And I know that about me. Okay. So is it going to mean hiring a writer for you off of Upwork? All right. Think about what is it going to take for you to get that done. Then you're going to write down your 5 pain points as part of step 2 if you haven't done that already. And then the third piece, you're going to get your word out about your course and you're going to write down ways to do that. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, next week, for the third and final part of this workshop series, we're going to talk about juicy offers, which I love, right? This is the basis of our business. So all of you folks putting out your content, never putting out an offer, I know who you are because you talk to me. And we're going to talk to you about putting out an awesome invite and offer. I'll see you next week. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss one episode. And meanwhile, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.